to another first impression video. I'm Drew Wilson from FreezeNet. Today we are going to be playing the first RPG game in this series. Specifically, we are playing the 2012 game Legend of Grimrock. So I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's dive straight into this one. So this is an RPG game, and more specifically, it's a tile-based RPG game. So you can kind of tell already by the movements that we are going by the kind of a grid system. And a lot of people actually look at this and say, hey, this is definitely an old school style game type of game. And if I press leave tab, yeah, you can see right here. That's the grid so far. What I've explored is already shown. What hasn't been explored is not necessarily shown, but you can kind of get the idea of what it is like. So, yeah. You're kind of in the introductory room here. Okay, so I forgot what is open. Choose your fate. Yeah, so apparently you start as prisoners, which is fairly standard fare for a lot of these games. I've seen that in a few others. I believe one was called Elder Scrolls 3. You start off as a prisoner there as well. And yeah, plenty of cudgel. So that's how you use it. Okay. As you can tell, I haven't played this yet, so this is, as you can tell. Yeah, so a lot of people kind of refer to a lot of different games as what was the first point in which small, independently produced RPG games were actually viable. And some people, like, there's a lot of different games that come to mind, like what was the game that showed that these things are actually possible. One was we have plates that actually do stuff. So it obviously needs weight. I wonder if that's what the rock is for. Yeah. Fairly heavy rock to hold down a plate that large. Anyway, one game that's often referred to as Minecraft, and I think Braid sometimes comes up in conversation. VVVV, Cave Story, and sometimes this game is mentioned as well because this is also produced in 2012, and a lot of people like wonder like what was the beginning. I'll let you hold on to that. And I would argue that sort of independently produced video games has gone back way further than that. You have point and click action here in this game, that's for sure. One era that I can think of is I use a key too. Is goes back a lot further than these types of games, because this is 2012 after all, and we're talking the 2000s. Loose rock, and one of the eras I'm thinking of is the shareware version of games. So we're talking 80s, 90s, that sort of thing. Oh, you can look around. Okay. Right click to look around, apparently. Something about a loose rock. goes back to the beginning. Am I missing something? Okay, so I'm not missing anything necessarily according to the map, but a lot of these games have secret doors too. Like More to the Depths of the Degenol and Rise of the Cthulhu are two games that I remember having secret doors and grid style movement. So I'm just gonna click around here for a little while. So yeah, shareware stuff, like that was so much that was independently produced, and we're talking DOS era style games where you were literally just installing things and running them via floppy drive, that sort of thing, and then going into DOS, things like DOS prompt and using CD. Okay, there we go. Wasn't that far off. That'll give you a key. Give that to that. And for the record, I just used default party. I didn't want to mess around too much right off the bat. Just see what the default is. And sometimes that's the way to go in these games, is to go default. But yeah, there's... it all depends on what you remember, I suppose. What is the day? That's an enemy. I do have a cudgel, I suppose, but I'm gonna see if I can find any other weapons. Because this is a 4-party team here. Throwing knife. Yeah. And that kind of leads me into another thing here is, okay, 2 enemies. I prefer 1 at the moment because I'm probably very early on in the levels. I wonder how I attack. Okay, there's gotta be a way of attacking, right? Yeah. Whenever you figure out, oh, I don't know a particular key, it's always ideal to kind of go back in key bindings and start looking it up, because that's the way to go, but I don't see anything. Oh. I'm sure I'll figure it out after this video's over. Cancel. Let's... On the plus side, I got a critical. Okay, there's a loop in here. I just backed myself into a corner, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Now that I've thrown away all my weapons. I'll pick them up, assuming I survive this. This is the first enemy. How many HP does it have? I have no idea what that is. Fireburst. Snail slice, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that is probably not how you want to handle fights, is throwing away your items. Yeah, I had another point I was gonna make, but it doesn't look like I'll be making it. That's okay. Save it for another game, I suppose. Oh. And that's my throwing knife. Oh, it's a different knife. Either way, I'll take it. And now someone's gonna have to hold a torch. I may as well be the back row. So front row and back row has a big difference in how you handle things. Yeah. Alright, so that'll be it for this time around. So I hope you enjoyed that video, first impression video. If you like what you see, you can always feel free to subscribe or drop us a like. Every little bit helps, like just doing small things like that. So feel free to tell everyone about this video and this particular project in general. So yeah, if you remember Legend of Grimrock and you have your own first impression of what it was like, and feel free to tell us your story below in the comments section. Also, another way you can help support us is checking our website at freezenet.ca, where we have a full-fledged news site as well as video game reviews and a whole lot more. And finally, we have our Patreon at patreon.com/freezenet. So there's plenty of ways you can support us, and we hope you enjoy this video. So until next time, keep it cool.